We haven't thought much about the Cadillac XT4 since its debut in 2018. That said, it hasn't really been on our radar, and when we're forced to think about it, for example, when determining the ultimate vehicle rankings, our opinion isn't as high as it thought it was in 15th out of 15 positions. The now refreshed 2024 Cadillac XT4 offers what Cadillac press materials say is class-leading rear legroom, and sails near the top of its class. When we called to check the math, we learned that Cadillac considers the XT4 a luxury subcompact SUV, while we've lumped the tweener in with the higher volume, more competitive luxury compact class, Tesla Model Y, Audi Q5, BMW X3. So where does this refreshed XT4 rank among the smaller Audi Q3, BMW X1 and Volvo XC40? Space and comfort in the subcompact class, the Cadillac XT4, Land Rover Discovery Sport and three-row Mercedes GLB class stand out in exterior dimensions that stretch more than 180 inches. Of these, the wider Cadillac makes the most of the extra space, offering best-in-class legroom dimensions along with the largest front and rear passenger areas and competitive cargo space. Even better, these seats are all comfortable, with great support all around, generous underseat legroom and great rear visibility, and, uncharacteristic of this class, an optional massage function up front. Don't expect lucid air, Mercedes S-Class grade Swedish or Shiatsu back kneading, but the bladder-based system completely reduces fatigue during long drives. And it's activated with a single button that requires no screen surfing. Performance: there's still nothing noteworthy about the 2.0-liter turbo inline-4 and 9-speed automatic, which makes 235 horsepower and 258 pound-feet, averages for the class. The calibration tweezers bump the EPA numbers up 1 mpg in the city and down 1 mpg on the highway, raising the combined rating by 1 mpg for AWD models only. It's possible that these revisions help shave a tenth or two off both the 0 to 60 and quarter-mile times, while increasing the trap speed by almost 2 miles per hour. At 7.3 seconds to 60 and 15.6 in the quarter-mile, it's still a full tenth below the class average, except for the rocket-like electric Genesis GV60. Though its 91.7 miles per hour clutch is faster than the class average. The XT4 does better than the athletic Alfa Tonali's best-in-class 109 footstop from 100 miles per hour, with tire squeal, good pedal feel, fade and laser direct tracking. Putting it all together in our 8-figure course results in a better-than-average lap of 26.9 seconds in sport mode. This mode recalibrates the transmission's shifting and engagement strategy for the dual-clutch AWD system, with a clutch on each rear half shaft, to sharpen shift response. Attempts at efficient manual paddle switching were met by a lazy computer that delayed queue requests, while activating sport mode made no difference in our acceleration test. The calibration makes the XT4 feel noticeably more responsive around town, with deceleration and acceleration resulting in part throttle inputs much more lively. The exhaust sounds eager when you pull it off and is reasonably muffled in suburban mode. We're still a bit concerned about an AWD system like the XT4 that defaults to FWD when engaged and requires the driver to press the drive mode switch to engage the rear prop shaft in touring mode. But we know it boosts EPA ratings. All-wheel drive remains in sport and off-road modes. Technology and design innovation: these are areas where the outgoing XT4 was particularly underrated, so these are where the new model makes the biggest improvements. The Lyric's use of a giant, curved 33-inch 9K resolution LED screen as standard makes a big difference, especially given that it can be controlled by direct touch, voice, or fingerprint wiping using a rotary push, as drivers prefer. A button on the console. The large screen is generally put to good use in the leftmost few inches to the left of the steering wheel, with plenty of options for what's displayed behind the wheel and in the infotainment section, including the option of almost nothing. Certain icons remain visible on the screen to take you directly to the most frequently accessed screens, further simplifying the system. Then there's standard 5G connectivity with Google built-in Wi-Fi, and 3 years of OnStar remote access for remote start, lock and signal, light functions, vehicle location and status, dispatch navigation, and on-demand diagnostics. In the design innovation arena, look for embroidery on the dash, a choice of black or two contrasting interior color schemes, floor vents cut into interesting patterns on some, and the absence of any hard plastics on the armrests or above. That's a rarity in the subcompact class, where profit margins are slimmer. Living with XT4. The 2024 Cadillac XT4 model range tops the average price of all new cars sold today, with entry-level front-wheel drive models starting at $43,190 and our loaded AWD Sport example starting at $57,215. With a technologically advanced interior like the BMW X1, we recently won the SUV of the Year competition, but with a significantly superior ride quality and more comfortable performance. The drive is worth the money. We might like it better with some order sheet editing to axe the $1,500 heavy glass roof and condition the average premium luxury trim grade. The Sport model just isn't quite as sporty, plus the luxury trim gets a more interesting new grille featuring Cadillac emblems and rides on even more comfortable 18-inch wheels. Such an XT4, preferably in emerald lake green or deep sea blue, will cost $49,015, about 10% above the current average new car price, and we think it's worth every penny. Where should the 2024 Cadillac XT4 fit? Above average space and comfort, and vastly improved technology and design. Guarantee the new XT4 will rise well above the current last place in its new category, but closer to average powertrain performance, chassis dynamics, fuel economy and range will likely match the current model's below average safety ratings. They're incomplete, but they're unlikely to change much from 2023's 4-star NHTSA in our SUV ratings, frontal and rollover ratings, to keep the XT4 off the podium the next time it's updated. Nevertheless, after spending a week in the XT4, we now understand that its sales have risen to second place in the subcompact luxury SUV segment so far, behind the third-placed Volvo XC40 and well ahead of the GLB, 6th, and X1. First.